We all want to succeed. Everyone wants to be a success. No one wants to fail. And some want good success, and they want to be prosperous. The jury is out there what the measure of success is. But I often follow a simple definition of success. And for me, success is achieving any goal that you set for yourself. If you set for yourself a worthy goal and you achieve it, you are successful. If you continue to operate in that manner, you continue to be successful. All right? So, how do you achieve that success? Achieving that success is pretty simple. There's a way to do it, there's a framework to apply, but we often ignore that framework. We often ignore that framework. And so today I want to very quickly share with you 4 steps, sequential steps to succeed. And it comes from a very popular, scripture. Very direct, very simple. If only we will commit to it, implement it, and do so based on certain attributes, success will be within our reach. And that is Joshua 1 and verse 8. Is a prescription for how to succeed. Indeed, how to achieve good success and prosperity. And it says, this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth. You shall meditate therein day and night, that you may observe to do all that is written therein. For then you shall make your way prosperous, and then you shall have good success. Part of the problems we tend to have with some of these popular scriptures is that we get too familiar with them. And at times we get too spiritual or too religious that we think that they only apply to a spiritual aspect of life. But these are core principles that apply in every area of life. They apply in every area of life. You care to take notice of them, you care to understand them, you care to apply yourself to them, you will see how things will fall into place. That good success that is talked about, that prosperity that is promised, you can accomplish. And if you notice, there is a responsibility. It said it's not God who determines whether you are successful or not. You will make your way prosperous. You will make yourself good success. Make for yourself good success. That's how it is. It's in your hands. What you do or don't do, where you are or aren't, is not God, is you. Is you. Because the formula has already been given, the framework has been provided. It's up to you to understand it. It's up to you to embrace it. It's up to you to walk in the light of it and then see whether things will not fall into place for you. There are 4 steps there and they are sequential. So you have to do one before you do the other. The first is to read, or if you like, study. It said, this book of the law should not depart from your mouth. That is, there's a place to start. There is where you need to get knowledge. The beginning of everything, the root of success is knowledge. It said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. The root of success is knowledge. Good success, you need to be knowledgeable. And to be knowledgeable, you need to go after it. You need to read. You need to study. The materials relevant for what you want to do. It's not just to read anyhow. What kind of success are you looking for? What success in what area? You want to achieve what goals? Then you go for relevant knowledge relevant materials, study them and keep studying them. All right. Study them and keep studying them. That has to be the foundation. In Daniel 11:32, it says that they that know their God, the second part of it, they that know their God, you see his knowledge, they shall be strong and they shall do exploits. They that know. It starts with knowledge. It always starts with knowledge. Paul was writing in Timothy, he said, study, all right, be diligent to pursue certain things, all right, study to show that you are, all right, a workman who does not need to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, rightly dividing the word of truth. Study to show that you are a workman who does not need to be ashamed. All right, so it starts with knowledge. That's the first point. Don't do anything, don't pursue any goal without first of all going after knowledge. All right, without reading, without acquiring knowledge. Lay that foundation. Lay that foundation. The wise, they hear and they before they do, because it is the knowledge that tells you, it shows you the way. Knowledge shows you the way, how to get to that objective. That's the very first thing that you have to do. It's the very first step that you have to take. The second thing is that you need to think. All right. The Bible uses the word meditate. That is, you need to process what you have read. You need to turn it this way, turn it that way, ask yourself questions, seek to have a deep understanding. The reason you meditate is so that you can have an understanding. There is knowledge, which is acquiring information, but do you understand what you've read? Because until you understand, you can't do what it says. Until you understand, you can't follow the path that it has laid out. Philip was asking the Ethiopian eunuch. He said, do you understand what you are reading? The man was reading. He had the book in his hand. So he was obeying the first part. But what about the second part? All right. He said, do you understand what you are reading? And the man said, well, how can I understand except somebody teaches me? So you need to meditate. You need to think so that you can gain understanding. And this part is very crucial. Proverbs 4:8, he said, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. But with all you're getting, get understanding. Look at that emphasis. With all you're getting, get understanding. That is the key, is in understanding. Because that is what will fuel action, the right action, the right move in the direction of the goal that you want to achieve. Meditation is crucial. Then there's this very important aspect, observation. Observe. What are you to observe? I believe a lot of people overlook this very important aspect, observation. That instruction says that you may observe to do. So there is a reason you are observing. What are you observing? You are observing what you must do. This is the part where you must ask yourself, now, in all that I am learning, what is my responsibility? What actions am I required to take? Because there is always an action that you are required to take. All right. This is where the responsibility is. That's why this formula is saying you will make your way prosperous and you will have good success. This is where it is you. This is where it is you. Yes, you go for the knowledge. Somebody teaches you. All right. Somebody offers it. Yes, you meditate. Is you trying to process, and you may need to ask a lot of questions. You may need to contact other people who know, who have done some of the things you want to do. But then in all of that, never miss the most vital aspect of step 1 and step 2. What must I do? That rich man ran to Jesus. He said, what must I do to secure eternal life? What must I do is very important. What must I do is very important. Okay? What must I do is very, very important. Observe to do. You must know clearly what to do so that you are not busy running around, beating about the bush. You are not following, a path that will not take you there out of the lack of understanding. Observing to do is taking full responsibility that it's in my hands. It's that success is going to be based on what I do or fail to do, okay, which is likely to lead to failure anyway. And then finally, the fourth step is to do what you have observed to do, and do it with everything that you have. All right? Whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. You give it everything that it deserves. Do it as you have discovered, as you have learned, as you have been told, as you have been instructed. This is what you need to do. So apply it. Apply it. Now, those are the first steps, 4 steps. Whatever you want to achieve in life, those are the first steps. Acquire, read, acquire the knowledge, think, meditate on it, read, acquire the knowledge, think, meditate on it, all right, so that you gain understanding. And what else do you do? Observe what you're supposed to do. Make sure you know exactly what you are supposed to do. And then do it. Do it. What your hand finds to do it. Now that you have the understanding, now that you know what's expected of you, do it. Do it. Do it. It is in the doing. You don't get results. You don't achieve anything if you do not do. All right. Now, there are a couple of things I must draw your attention to, because those 4 steps are not piece of cake. A lot of people may want to do it. We may have chanted it. We may have attempted it, but somehow you find that you're not able, to live up to it. And there are a number of things. 1, it takes discipline. It takes discipline. It takes discipline. It takes discipline. 2, you must believe in what you are doing. It takes faith. You do it with conviction. You do it with conviction. It takes faith. All right. You must believe that having, these things you are doing, you are following something that is laid out, that is the truth, and it will produce for you. So do it with diligence. Do it with conviction. Do it expecting that the promised benefit will show up for you. Number 3 attribute that you need, without which you may not see any result. It takes patience. It takes patience. It takes patience between action. This whole process takes patience. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a haste. Nobody succeeds in a haste. We're often tempted. All right. We want things to happen now. We want to do it yesterday and have the results today. It doesn't work that way. All right. Necessarily, those 2 things, good success and prosperity, they take patience. They require patience. And all right, if you do all of that, you're guaranteed of good success and prosperity. And prosperity. Simple, straightforward process. Applicable to anything that you want to achieve in life. And I want to commend it to you. There are 4 sequential steps. You can't think without reading. All right. You can't think without acquiring information. Okay. You cannot. And you can't, and you can't understand if you don't, think. You can't observe what you should do if you don't have good understanding. It says good understanding procures favor. And you can't act until you have observed what you are supposed to do. All right. So be aware of all of those character attributes: discipline, faith, patience. And if you can bring them to bear on this process, you're on your way. Success will just be around the corner. All right. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye. This has been Leadership in 30 Minutes, and Olatunji is my name. Bye-bye.